Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever started a conversation and halfway through you realized no one was really listening? Have you ever given instructions and felt like they went in one ear and out the other? Why does this happen? Because communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. And more importantly, which words you choose to say. Now, let me tell you something powerful. There are 3 words, just 3, that will shift the way people hear you, respect you, and respond to you. But first, you've got to make a decision. A decision to stop being vague, stop being casual, and start being intentional. Precision creates power. You see, when you say things like, "He said this," or "What's up?" you're not claiming clarity, you're not owning the conversation. Instead of saying "he said," say "John told me." Instead of asking "What's up?" ask "How can I support you today?" Words change the emotional temperature of a room. Energy follows intention. When you walk into a room and throw out vague words like "What's up?" you're not leading the interaction, you're not commanding attention. Replace casual ambiguity with words of purpose and precision, words that tell people, "I see you, I value you, and I am here with purpose." Own your words, own the room. The 3 words you need to focus on are clarity, connection, commitment. Clarity, be specific about what you want and what you're offering. Connection, use words that build bridges, not walls. Commitment, speak in a way that shows you are fully present and invested in the conversation. Words shape identity. The words you use reflect who you are. Stop using words that dilute your presence. Stop saying "I think" when you know. Stop saying "maybe" when you're certain. Language is not just sound, it's a tool for influence. Practice daily shifts. Here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Replace every casual "What's up?" with a purposeful greeting like "How are you progressing on your goals today?" Replace "He said" with "Michael shared with me." Small changes create massive impact. The takeaway: when you change your words, you change your focus. When you change your focus, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, my friends, you change your destiny. So remember, never settle for vague language. Use precision, use connection, and most importantly, use intention. Because when you do, the conversation, the opportunity, the respect, it will all be yours. Now go out there, own your words, and own your life. Thank you. You know, one of the most underrated superpowers we have as human beings is our ability to use words to create reality. Think about it, every invention, every great movement, every transformative relationship started with a conversation. But here's the thing, not all words are created equal. Some words are sharp, clear, and powerful. They cut through the noise and hit the heart. Others, they're vague, sloppy, and powerless. They slide right past people without leaving a mark. And let me tell you something, precision in your language is the difference between influence and irrelevance. Let's break this down. Have you ever been in a meeting or a conversation where someone kept saying things like "he said this" or "they're going to handle it"? What happens when you hear that? You start to lose confidence in the speaker. You start to feel like they don't really know what they're talking about. Why? Because vague language destroys trust. When you don't know who he is, when you don't know what they are supposed to be doing, your brain starts to fill in the blanks with doubt, assumptions, and mistrust. On the flip side, when someone says, "John specifically mentioned that he'll send the report by Friday at noon," what happens? Boom. Clarity, confidence. You know exactly who said it, exactly what was promised, and exactly when it's supposed to happen. That's the power of precision. Precision eliminates confusion. Precision eliminates doubt. And most importantly, precision builds trust and credibility. But it's not just about sounding clear, it's about being clear in your own mind first. Because let me tell you, the way you talk is a reflection of the way you think. If your thoughts are fuzzy, your words will be fuzzy. If your thoughts are sharp, your words will cut through steel. So before you open your mouth, take a moment and ask yourself, what do I actually mean? What am I actually trying to communicate here? Let me give you an example. Imagine you're giving someone feedback on their work. You could say, "Yeah, it's fine, but I feel like it could be better." What does that even mean? Is it the layout? Is it the writing? Is it the deadline? There's no clarity. That feedback is useless. Now let's switch to precision. You could say, "The design looks strong, but I think the headline could be more attention grabbing. Can we try making it more direct and bold?" Boom. Now there's something actionable. Now there's clarity. And because there's clarity, there's also direction and progress. Another thing about precision, it doesn't just help others understand you, it helps you understand yourself. When you start using precise words, you start owning your message. Instead of saying, I feel like I'm not happy with my job, you might say, I feel unfulfilled because I don't see growth opportunities in my current role. That level of clarity empowers you. It turns vague emotions into actionable insights. Now you can do something about it. Now you can move forward. You know, people often think communication is about saying more. They think if they keep talking, eventually they'll land on something meaningful. But that's not true. Communication isn't about quantity, it's about quality. The best communicators aren't the ones who talk the most, they're the ones who say the most in the fewest words. Listen, words aren't just sounds, they're tools. And tools can build bridges or they can create walls. The choice is yours. Every time you open your mouth, ask yourself, am I being specific? Am I being intentional? Am I being clear? Because if you're not, you might as well not speak at all. And here's something else: people respect clarity. When you're vague, people dismiss you. But when you're clear, when you're precise, people listen. They lean in. They pay attention. And in a world full of noise, clarity is one of the rarest and most valuable commodities you can offer. So stop saying he when you mean John. Stop saying they when you mean the marketing team. Stop speaking in shadows and start speaking in light. Because when you do, your words won't just be heard, they'll be felt. And that, my friends, is how you start to influence, inspire, and impact the people around you. Language isn't just a tool, it's a weapon. But only if you wield it with precision. Now go out there, sharpen your words, and start cutting through the noise. You know, communication isn't just about the words you use, it's about the energy behind those words. You can say the same sentence with two completely different energies, and the meaning will change entirely. Picture this: someone walks into a room, slouches their shoulders, avoids eye contact, and mumbles, hey, what's up now? Imagine someone else walks in, head held high, shoulders back, eyes locked in with confidence, and they say, hey, great to see you. How have you been? Same general intent, two completely different impacts. Why? Because energy is the carrier of meaning, and it either amplifies your words or it drowns them in static. When you speak, your energy speaks first. Before people even process the words coming out of your mouth, they feel your presence. They pick up on your confidence, your certainty, your sincerity. And let me tell you, people respond more to how you make them feel than to what you actually say. That's why two people can give the exact same speech, word for word, but one will get a standing ovation while the other gets polite applause. It's not the words, it's the energy behind them. Now let's talk about connection. Connection isn't built by what you say, it's built by how you make others feel when you're saying it. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who made you feel like you were the most important person in the world? They were present, they were engaged, they weren't just listening to respond, they were listening to understand. That's energy. That's connection. On the other hand, have you ever spoken to someone who kept checking their phone, nodding absent-mindedly or glancing around the room? You felt dismissed, right? That's because their energy wasn't with you, it was somewhere else. When you ask someone, what's up with no energy, no intention, and no real curiosity, what happens? It falls flat. It's just noise. But if you ask someone, hey, how are you doing today? What's been exciting you lately? And you ask with genuine interest, with your eyes focused, your body turned toward them, and your energy fully engaged, that's a different interaction altogether. That's when connection happens. That's when people feel seen, valued, and respected. Energy isn't about being loud or over the top. It's about being present and intentional. You can have quiet energy that's magnetic because it's focused, and you can have loud energy that's chaotic because it's scattered. The key is alignment. Your body language, your tone, your eye contact, they all need to line up with your words. When those elements are aligned, you create something powerful, emotional resonance. You see, people don't remember everything you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel. That's why when you're communicating, whether it's in a meeting, a presentation, or a casual conversation, you need to check in with yourself. Where is my energy right now? Am I fully here or am I distracted? Because if you're not present, if your energy isn't locked in, people will feel it. And they won't trust you, even if your words are perfectly crafted. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is this: energy is contagious. When you bring energy into a room, positive, focused, confident energy, it spreads. People mirror the energy they receive. If you're enthusiastic, others become enthusiastic. If you're confident, others feel secure. But if you're indifferent or disinterested, that energy will spread like wildfire too. So here's a challenge for you the next time you greet someone, the next time you start a conversation, do it with energy that says, I'm here. I see you. You matter. Don't just say the words, mean them. Don't just ask what's up because it's easy to ask something meaningful. Ask something that shows you're invested in the conversation. At the end of the day, communication isn't just about transmitting information, it's about transferring emotion. You want to inspire someone? Transfer your passion? You want to comfort someone? Transfer your calm. You want to motivate someone? Transfer your belief. Energy is the bridge that carries your message from your heart to theirs. Remember this, every interaction you have is an opportunity to create an experience, and energy is the currency of that experience, so don't waste it. Don't throw it away on meaningless small talk and half-hearted words. Show up fully, speak with intention, and let your energy do the talking before you even say a word, because when your energy aligns with your words, you don't just communicate, you connect. And connection, my friends, is where transformation begins. You know, one of the most profound truths about communication and life in general is that words have power, but not just any words. There are specific words, intentional words that act like keys. Keys that unlock trust, clarity, and momentum in any interaction. These aren't just random words, they're words that create ownership, words that command attention, and words that inspire action. But here's the thing, most people are casual with their words. They throw them around like confetti, hoping something will stick. And casual words create casual results. Let me tell you something, you can't afford to be casual with your words. When you use vague, passive, or uncertain language, you're not just confusing others, you're confusing yourself. You're weakening your ability to influence, to inspire, and to lead. But when you start using intentional words, when you claim your language, when you take ownership of what you say, you shift everything. You shift how people perceive you, you shift how they respond to you, and most importantly, you shift how you perceive yourself. I think about this, someone says, I'll try to get it done by Friday. What does that tell you? It tells you they might do it, they might not. It tells you they're leaving themselves an escape route. Now contrast that with someone who says, I'll have it completed by Friday at 3 p.m. Feel the difference. It's not just about the words, it's about the ownership behind them. One person is hedging, the other person is committing. And let me tell you, commitment builds confidence. Commitment builds trust. And here's another thing, ownership in language isn't just about responsibility, it's about clarity. Ambiguous words create confusion, and confusion kills momentum. How many times have you sat in a meeting where someone said, we should probably work on improving that? Who's we? What does improving mean? By when? That's not ownership, that's a verbal shrug. But when someone says, I'll take the lead on this, my goal is to have a solution drafted by next Wednesday, does that align with everyone's expectations? Boom, now there's clarity. Now there's direction. And with direction comes progress. Ownership in language also means using words that move things forward. Too often, people get stuck in passive language. They say things like, someone should handle this, or it would be great if this got done. Who's someone? When should it happen? If you want to be someone who creates results, you've got to replace passive phrases with action-driven language. You don't say, it would be nice if we had a plan. You say, I'll draft a plan and share it with the team by tomorrow. When you start speaking like that, people start taking you seriously. They start seeing you as someone who leads rather than follows. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Intentional words don't just change how others see you, they change how you see yourself. Every time you use words that express ownership, clarity, and commitment, you reinforce an identity. You reinforce the belief that you're someone who follows through, someone who takes responsibility, someone who doesn't shrink away from accountability. And let me tell you, that identity shapes everything you do. This applies in every area of life. If you're in a relationship and you keep saying things like, yeah, I'll try to be better, what does that even mean? Try to be better how? In what way? Instead, say something like, I'm going to prioritize spending more quality time with you every evening after work. Let's start with 30 minutes where we're fully present with each other. That's clarity. That's ownership. That's a statement people can trust. Now, don't misunderstand me. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about always having the right answers. It's about showing up with intention. It's about speaking in a way that aligns with who you want to be and the impact you want to have. Because every word you say is like planting a seed. Vague words plant weeds. Intentional words plant fruit-bearing trees. So let me give you a challenge. Start paying attention to your words. Notice when you're being vague. Notice when you're hedging. Notice when you're leaving room for doubt. And then start replacing those weak words with strong ones. Instead of I'll try, say I will. Instead of someone should, say I'll take care of it. Instead of hopefully, say here's my plan. And remember this, words aren't just tools for communication, they're tools for creation. When you speak with clarity, with ownership, and with commitment, you're not just talking, you're building trust, you're building relationships, and you're building a version of yourself that commands respect and inspires action. So stop playing small with your words. Stop diluting your message. Every time you speak, ask yourself, am I owning this? Am I being clear? Am I moving things forward? Because when you do, people won't just hear your words, they'll feel your intention. And that's how you turn ordinary conversations into extraordinary results. You know, one of the biggest roadblocks to meaningful progress in business, in relationships, in leadership, and even in personal growth is vagueness. People don't realize how destructive vague communication can be. They underestimate how much ambiguity costs them every single day. And let me tell you, it's costing you more than you think. It's costing you time, respect, trust, and most importantly, momentum. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone said something like, yeah, we should probably take care of that soon, or I'll look into it when I get the chance? What happens in those moments? Nothing happens. Those words sound like they mean something, but they're empty. They're placeholders. They give the illusion of progress, but they create zero movement. And that's because vagueness doesn't inspire action, it paralyzes it. It leaves people unsure, unclear, and unmotivated. Now, here's what I want you to understand. Vague language is a reflection of vague thinking. When your thoughts are scattered, your words will be scattered. And when your words are scattered, your results will be scattered too. But when you start to strip away the ambiguity in your language, when you start using words that are clear, direct, and intentional, everything starts to shift. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're leading a team. And you say something like, let's aim to improve our performance this quarter. What does that mean? Improve how? Improve by what metric? Improve by when? That sentence doesn't give your team anything to grab onto. Now imagine if you said, let's increase our sales revenue by 15% by the end of this quarter. To do that, we'll focus on upselling our top 3 products and improving follow-up calls with leads. Feel the difference? One creates fog, the other creates focus. And this applies to your personal life too. How many times have you told yourself, I need to get healthier? That's vague, that's abstract. What does healthier mean? Does it mean losing weight? Does it mean working out 3 times a week? Does it mean drinking more water? When your goals are vague, your actions will be scattered, and scattered actions lead to scattered results. But if you say, I'm going to go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m., and I'm cutting out sugar for 30 days, that's clarity. That's precision. And with precision comes power. Now, here's the catch. Vague language feels safe. It feels comfortable. Because when you're vague, you don't have to commit. You don't have to put yourself on the line. You don't have to face the possibility of failure. But let me tell you something, comfort is the enemy of growth. If you're more committed to protecting yourself from failure than you are to creating clarity, you'll stay stuck. And worse, you'll bring other people down with you. You see, clarity doesn't just impact you, it impacts everyone around you. When you speak with precision, when you set clear expectations, when you articulate exactly what you want, and when you want it, you create confidence in others. People love working with someone who's clear. They trust leaders who know exactly where they're going. They respect individuals who speak with focus and direction. Why? Because clarity eliminates guesswork. And guesswork kills momentum. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Tony, what if I'm not sure yet? What if I don't have all the answers? That's fine. Clarity isn't about having all the answers. It's about being honest and specific about where you are right now. Instead of saying, I'll figure it out eventually, say, I don't have the answer yet, but I'm going to spend 2 hours researching this tomorrow morning, and I'll have a plan by noon that's clarity and uncertainty. That's precision in the middle of chaos. And people respect that far more than vague platitudes. And here's another thing, clarity creates accountability. When you're specific about what you're committing to, it's harder to back out. If you say, I'll try to get to that report soon, no one's going to hold you accountable. But if you say, I'll have the report on your desk by Friday at 2 p.m., now you've created a standard. Now there's a marker in the sand. And that level of accountability doesn't just earn trust, it earns respect. But perhaps the most important thing clarity does is it frees up mental energy. When your goals, your commitments, and your expectations are clear, you stop wasting energy trying to decode vague instructions or second-guessing yourself. Your mind becomes focused, your actions become aligned, and your results become consistent. So let me ask you, where are you being vague in your life right now? Where are you saying things like someday soon or I'll try? Where are you hiding behind words that keep you comfortable but prevent you from moving forward? I want you to commit right now to eliminating vagueness from your vocabulary. Stop saying I'll try, stop saying eventually, start being specific. Start being intentional. Because when you do, you'll notice something powerful. People will start to respond differently to you. They'll trust you more. They'll follow your lead. And most importantly, you'll start to trust yourself more. Clarity isn't just about good communication, it's about taking ownership of your life. So don't settle for fuzzy goals, vague commitments, or empty promises. Speak with intention. Act with precision. Because in a world full of noise and ambiguity, clarity is a superpower. And when you master it, there's no limit to what you can achieve. You know, one of the most important lessons I've learned in life, and I've seen this play out time and time again with leaders, entrepreneurs, parents, athletes, is that your words shape your world. The way you talk to others, and especially the way you talk to yourself, creates the reality you experience. Every time you open your mouth, you're not just communicating, you're creating expectations, emotions, and most importantly, you're creating outcomes. Now, most people don't realize this. They think words are just words, neutral, harmless, just a bunch of sounds strung together. But words aren't neutral. They're loaded. They carry energy. They carry intention. And they carry consequences. Think about it. Have you ever had someone say something to you? Maybe it was just one sentence, one offhand comment, and it stuck with you for years. It might have been something positive, like you have so much potential, or it might have been something negative. Like you're not cut out for this. That's the power of words. They don't just vanish after they're spoken. They take root. They grow. And they shape how you see yourself and the world around you. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One says, this is impossible. There's no way I can figure this out. The other says, this is tough, but I'll find a way. I've overcome challenges before and I'll do it again. Same problem. Two entirely different responses. And you know what happens next? The first person stops trying. They've already decided it's impossible, so why bother? But the second person, they start looking for solutions. They start asking questions. They keep moving forward because their words gave them permission to believe that progress was possible. Your words aren't just describing your reality, they're defining it. And that's why you've got to be intentional with what you say, especially in moments of frustration, fear, or doubt. Because those are the moments when your mind is most vulnerable to believing whatever story you tell it. If you keep saying things like, I'm stuck, I'm not good enough, or this always happens to me, guess what? You'll stay stuck. You'll keep finding evidence to support those beliefs because your brain will filter out everything else. But here's the beautiful thing, you can flip the script. You can start speaking words that empower you instead of words that disempower you. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, you can say, I'm figuring this out. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, you can say, this is tough, but I'm tougher. Do you see the difference? One set of words shuts you down, and the other set opens you up. And this doesn't just apply to how you talk to yourself, it applies to how you talk to others. Words are bridges or barriers. They either build connections or they create distance. Have you ever noticed how some people have a way of speaking that just makes you feel safe, valued, and respected? And others can make you feel small, overlooked, or misunderstood. That's not an accident, that's a choice. That's the result of someone being intentional with their words. If you're a leader, if you're a parent, if you're a friend, heck, if you're a human being who interacts with other humans, you've got to understand that your words have weight. Every time you speak to someone, you have a choice. You can either speak life into them or you can drain life out of them. You can either inspire them to be better or you can reinforce their doubts and fears. But let me tell you, this isn't just about being positive all the time. This isn't about fake optimism or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. No, this is about truth spoken with intention. Sometimes the most empowering thing you can say is, this isn't good enough, but I know we can do better, or I'm not happy with how this turned out, but let's work together to fix it. Do you see the difference? You're not sugarcoating reality, but you're speaking in a way that creates a path forward instead of building a wall of blame or shame. And here's the thing, words spoken consistently become beliefs. Beliefs become actions, and actions become results. If you want better results in your life, you've got to start with your words. Stop saying things like, I always mess things up, and start saying, I'm learning from every experience. Stop saying, I'll never get ahead, and start saying, I'm building something worthwhile step by step. Because the words you repeat to yourself will become the script you live by. So let me ask you, what kind of world are your words creating? Are you speaking words that build bridges, that open doors, that create possibilities? Or are you speaking words that build walls, that shut people out, and that keep you stuck in the same place? You have the power right now to start speaking differently, to start using words that reflect the kind of life you want to live, the kind of relationships you want to have, and the kind of person you want to become. It won't happen overnight, but if you stay consistent, if you commit to speaking words of intention, clarity, and purpose, your world will start to shift. Because words aren't just sounds, they're seeds, and every word you speak plants something. So make sure you're planting something worth growing. You know, one of the most transformative principles you can embrace in your life is understanding that your words are a contract. Every time you speak, you're making an agreement not just with the people around you, but with yourself. And here's the kicker, your mind believes what you say. It doesn't filter out sarcasm. It doesn't separate jokes from reality. It just absorbs your words and starts building a story around them. That's why you've got to be incredibly intentional about the promises you make with your words, because whether you realize it or not, those promises shape your reality. Let me ask you something. How many times have you told someone, I'll call you later, and you didn't? Or said, I'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow never came? Every time you break one of those small verbal contracts, you're not just letting someone else down, you're letting yourself down. You're sending a signal to your brain that your words don't really matter, that your commitments are flexible, and that your integrity is negotiable. And let me tell you, that erosion of trust with yourself is one of the most dangerous things you can allow. Because if you can't trust your own words, who can? The truth is, success in any area of life, business, relationships, personal growth comes down to one thing: trust. Trust with others and trust with yourself. And trust is built or destroyed one word at a time. When you tell someone, I'll handle that, and you follow through, you're not just completing a task, you're building a reputation. You're becoming someone others can count on. But when you say one thing and do another, you start chipping away at your credibility. And credibility is like a glass mirror. Once it's cracked, it's incredibly hard to make it whole again. But this isn't just about keeping promises to other people, it's about keeping promises to yourself. Think about the times you said, this year I'm going to get in shape, or I'm going to stop procrastinating again, get serious about my goals. And then what happened? A week went by, 2 weeks, and suddenly those words became hollow. And the more you repeat that cycle, the more your subconscious mind starts believing, well, it doesn't really matter what I say, I never follow through anyway. That's a dangerous belief system, my friend. Because if you can't trust yourself to follow through on the small things, how are you going to trust yourself with the big things? But here's the good news, you can rebuild that trust. You can start honoring your words, and it starts with something simple: say less, do more. Stop making empty promises. Stop saying yes to things you have no intention of following through on. Instead, make fewer commitments, but make them count. If you tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow and hit the gym, don't leave any room for negotiation. Treat it like a contract. Because when you follow through on those small promises, something powerful happens. You start to believe in yourself again. You start to trust that when you say something, it's as good as done. And let's talk about the energy of your words. When you say, I'll try, you've already given yourself an escape route. You've built failure into the plan. But when you say, I will, something shifts in your physiology. Your posture changes, your focus sharpens, because I will is a contract, it's a commitment that you're making to yourself and to the world. This principle applies to how you interact with others as well. If you tell your team, we're going to hit this goal by the end of the quarter, you better show up every single day with the energy, focus, and determination to make that happen. Because people aren't just listening to your words, they're watching your actions. They're looking to see if your words align with your behavior. And every time there's a gap between what you say and what you do, you lose influence. You lose respect. But here's something else: your words aren't just about trust, they're about vision. When you speak something into existence, when you declare a goal, a dream, a commitment, you're setting a target. You're telling your mind, this is where we're going. But if your words are weak, if they're vague, if they're inconsistent, your target becomes blurry. And when the target is blurry, it's nearly impossible to hit. This is why you've got to treat your words like currency. Spend them wisely. Don't make promises you can't keep, and don't speak without intention. Every word should be backed by your commitment, your integrity, and your belief. And when you start treating your words like contracts, when you start honoring every promise you make, no matter how small, you'll notice something incredible. People will start to believe in you. They'll start to trust you. And more importantly, you'll start to believe in yourself again. So let me challenge you, start small. Make one promise to yourself today, just one. Maybe it's as simple as I'm going to drink 2 liters of water today, or I'm going to spend 30 minutes reading before bed. And then follow through. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't justify quitting halfway through. Treat it like an unbreakable contract. And tomorrow, do it again. And the next day, do it again. Because here's the truth, your words are building your life. One sentence, one promise, one commitment at a time. Make sure those words are building something you're proud of. Make sure they're building trust, confidence, and momentum. Because when your words and your actions are in alignment, you become unstoppable. And people don't just hear you, they believe you. And that, my friend, is where real power lies. Everything we've talked about today, every principle, every insight, every challenge, it all comes down to one undeniable truth: your words are powerful. They're not just sounds, they're not just noise, they're tools. Tools to build, tools to destroy, tools to create, and tools to transform. Every word you speak carries weight, and every sentence you construct shapes your reality. We started with the importance of precision, being clear, being intentional, stripping away vagueness and replacing it with clarity. Because vague words create vague results, but clear words create focus, direction, and impact. We talked about how your words are more than just communication, they're contracts. Contracts with others and contracts with yourself. And every time you honor those contracts, you build trust. Trust with your team, trust with your family, trust with your friends, and most importantly, trust with yourself. We dove into the reality that your words aren't just descriptive, they're creative. They're planting seeds every single day, and those seeds grow into your habits, your relationships, and your outcomes. You can't expect a harvest of success if you're planting seeds of doubt, fear, or limitation. And let's not forget how words connect people, how they bridge gaps, build relationships, and inspire action. The right words, spoken with intention, can heal wounds, spark movements, and change lives, including your own. So here's my challenge to you: stop being casual with your words. Stop tossing them around like they don't matter. Stop saying things you don't mean and making promises you won't keep. Start treating your words like they're worth gold, because they are. Speak with clarity. Speak with integrity. Speak with purpose. And most importantly, make sure your words and your actions align, because when they do, you'll unlock a level of power, influence, and confidence that most people only dream about. This isn't just about sounding good or being motivational. It's about building a life you're proud of. A life where your words aren't just noise, but declarations. A life where your promises aren't just hopeful wishes, but rock-solid commitments. Remember this: every word you speak is either building your future or tearing it down. Every sentence is either moving you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. So be intentional, be clear, and most of all, be someone whose words mean something. Because when your words carry weight, when they align with your actions, and when they're spoken with purpose, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Now go out there and speak your world into existence. Because it's not just about what you say, it's about what you mean. And if you mean it with every fiber of your being, there's nothing stopping you from turning those words into reality.